Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at Bitcoin. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research. And of course, trade responsibly. Alright, so here we have our daily Bitcoin chart. And this is Bitstamp exchange. And I'm going to make this chart available. The link will be in the notes for the TradingView link, so you can just punch this into your browser and it will take you straight to this chart with all the lines that I've already got in here and everything. This is a great long-term chart. Bitstamp has a great long history, and then obviously these are some key random support and resistance like diagonals that I put in here, basically showing like the parabolic move and direction of Bitcoin. And essentially, like, over time we've created this wedge, and then inside this wedge we're pinched between essentially like what's been scooping up our lows, this green parabolic trend line, and now the next one, essentially it comes from the high and then tags the next low. So that's the high of this one, and then it tags the next low. So then this one would be actually the high and then tag the next low for the parabolic one. But this isn't the parabolic one. This is like the top on the weekly chart. So now we have like our bottom support line, which we've been clearly bouncing off of multiple times, and then we have multiple touches on this top resistance line that's been holding us down, and now we're approaching that resistance line. Now, less substantially, we were inside this channel moving up. We broke out of the channel and consolidated moving down, and now we've broken out of that channel very clearly, back tested it, and we're moving up almost to this resistance line. This is the strongest resistance that we have right now as far as like a diagonal. It's on the weekly, which is the most significant time scale. So like I respect that more than everything. And same with the support. This green support goes back so far. For any of the diagonal supports, that's the strongest support line that we have. So we're now pinned between these in this small little zone, and we're approaching the top of the zone, which is why I'm still bearish in this area, and especially because it lines up perfectly with this area high that we need to take out. And as the weekly approaches, essentially we have today and then tomorrow night, so we have about 36 hours until it closes. And what I need to see is a close above this 9600 line, and that's going to give us a higher high on the weekly. But right now all we have is like a lower wick, and if we closed right this second, we would have a lower close as well, which would line up perfectly with this essentially getting rejected at this point in time and selling back off, retesting the breakout point, and then also this green trend line. So that would put us coming in right here at 77.79, I believe it said. Right there in this range, but essentially coming back in at 77.99, so 7,800, and that would basically be like a sell-off, retest, come back down, and then we'd be testing this right here, and then that's going to give us essentially like a massive inverted head and shoulders reversal off of this consolidation downtrend, and then our breakout's going to take us to new highs. And we discussed that in detail in some of our other videos, and that's not what this video is about. This video is actually about Fibonacci on the long-term scales. We want to take our fibs from like various different levels on this trend, and then we can kind of get an idea what's going on more realistically. So we're going to take our bottom down here at the $153 range, and then we're going to take it up to our high right here, but I'm going to drag it all the way out, and I'm just going to line the line up here, even though I put like the number over here, just so I can see it like a little more clearly. And I'm going to change that one green, so that I know that's a long-term fib, and that's like a fib from bottom to top, okay? And then I'm just going to fade it away a little bit. And then the next fib I want to take is from the top here at 20,000 down to the bottom here in the $3,000 range. And I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to drag it out almost as far, and I'm going to leave this one yellow, or actually we can do this one orange, so that we know it's like a negative fib, like it's from the it's a retracement fib. So it's from the bottom to the top. And then the next fib I'm going to do is from the bottom here to the top, where we went to in the 12,000 range over here, and we're just going to drag that one over here as well, and we're going to turn that one blue. And then finally we have our fib from here down to, assuming this is our swing low right there, would be the next fib that we could do, and we can just pull that one right here, and that's going to give us basically the last of those fibs. Alright, and then obviously, like, the further it's pulled out to the right, the more relevant it is, because it's like a longer trending fib. So as you can see, when we came down here and sold off on this rally, like sell off after the 20,000 high, we came down and went below the 786, and then the 786 was acting as that resistance, and then when we busted above it, we made it all the way up just shy of the 236. Okay, so we almost made it to the 236 of that same fib zone. So we have right here the 786 we were below, and the 236 we almost made it to, and then when we sold back off, we came back down to the 618 of that green. Alright, so we know we bounced between the 786, the 236, and then the 618, and we're kind of like leveling out in this area right here, just like what we did here essentially. And then you'll see next we're going to go to the orange one here. Okay, and I know it's hard to see sometimes, but just trust me on this one. There's a reason we're doing them all at the same time. So for the orange one, we sold off, and then that's our bottom right here. So then we came all the way back up. We came up to the 618 of the orange right here. That's the 618 that corresponds there. So that's the important zone there, all right? And then when we sold off, we came all the way down, and we sold off to the 236. Again, very important. 618, 236. And now when we're coming back up, what would we expect to happen? We would expect to either bounce back up to the 0.5 or to the 382. So that would be a bounce back up either 1 or 2 fib levels. And right now we're at the 382 exactly. We're at that 382. So we're either going to sell off here, sell off at the 618, or continue, up. That's the three options basically. Which of course, yeah, we're going to go down now, we're going to go down later, or we're going to go up. Of course, that sounds like common sense. So that's that. That's how we're looking at the orange. And now finally we have the blue, and when the blue sold off, we came down here to the 618, and so far we've made it back up to the 382. Okay, so that's 2-level bounce. So what would we expect to happen right here? We previously came down almost to the 618 and made it back to the 382, and then that got rejected and we came down lower, all the way below the 618. And now what we would expect to happen is we come all the way to the 382, get rejected now a little lower than previous time, and then we sell off down here and come in lower than we did previously, which would put in our new low. Or, we could get caught by this long-term trending support line in green here, and then we could get our bounce from there, and then the head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders plays out, and we break out of this. But that's basically the breakdown of it and everything, and how the fibs work and all that. And you can look at like all these smaller fibs and the shorter time frames and this, that, and the other, and experiment however you want to. But what I want to do is I want to do something that I've never seen anybody else do before, and that it's sort of like one of my little secrets. And I imagine if you're probably still watching the video at this point in time, you're one of the good ones. You're not just some random that just kind of creeps in here, creeps out, and then makes their own video about the same stuff I've been talking about. So I have not seen a lot of people in this space even doing Fibonacci up until recently, and all of a sudden, like, everyone is an expert on all the same things. Well, you don't just become an expert at this stuff overnight. A lot of this technical analysis has very, very complex rule sets. So it's easy to, do the basic stuff and for it to work. But the complex stuff, and somebody that's experienced in something knows little tricks, or sees you do stuff and makes it very obvious that you don't know what you're doing. So